welcome back to my channel, and for today's video is super exciting for me because we're gonna be doing our episode 3 of the American Dream. I'm gonna be sharing to you guys my work and travel experience and my internship experience. So if you're interested, just keep on watching. Where do I start? Because my work and travel, I did that last 2016, so it's been 3 years, but I will try my best so I can share the information to you guys. So way back in 2016, I worked in the aquatics department at Wisconsin. It was called Wilderness Hotel and Golf Resort. I was a flight attendant there, the lowest level of lifeguard in short, and that hotel claims to be the biggest water park in America. So it's really cool. They have 4 indoors and they have 4 outdoors water parks, and one of their outdoor water parks has infinity pool, which is really cool, and I really enjoyed that experience because that is the job really that I don't feel like I am working, because I am in the water park where you can see literally you have much more closer contact to your guests, and you can really see that they are happy, they are enjoying, everyone is laughing, everyone, you know, is just having fun. The good thing about that is every time it is raining and I am working at the outdoor water park, they will close the water park and it's like time for us to swim or use the water park. So it's really cool. And I also remember before we start our shift, we will always try all the slides. You haven't started working, but then you're already having fun like a guest, you know. So I always felt that I am a guest every time I am working there. It's something that I really enjoy while I get paid for. It was 3 months experience. I really learned a lot because that was my first time you know, not living with my family. That is my first time being independent. So on that experience, I learned not how to cook because I didn't really cook that time, but I learned to be independent. I learned to budget my money, which is the biggest factor, and I learned how to value money, because before I feel like I am entitled from my parents giving me money, but then when I started working for myself, when I started, you know, budgeting, saving money for myself, for my clothes, for my expenses, for utilities, or just for the rent, I started giving more value to money and not just, you know, spend it to some bullshit. The best thing that I love about this experience is meeting a lot of people with different nationalities, different cultures, and we just bond together. We just click. Like, everyone is so friendly. I mean, most of them are friendly, I would say. So I really enjoyed my time being there. I had Thai friends, I have Turkish friends, I have American friends, I have Mexican friends. Oh, I met Russian friends, I met Koreans, Chinese, and so many more nationalities that are just awesome. These people have their own role on teaching me how to be more independent and how to be a better person. So I cannot stress enough how good was my experience that last 3 months, but it really changed my life, and it really changed on how I look at life and money and just me personally, you know, because before I thought like I am nobody, or I cannot do anything and stuff like that. But then after that experience, I discovered more of myself, how my parents work. I discovered more the value of each one of you, your colleagues, how to value your mentors, how to value your managers, how to value everyone, even especially the guests, you know. And it just added up to everything that I experienced, and I was like, oh my god, this 3 months is not enough. I wish this won't end, but then, you know, I don't really have enough choice, but then I have to go back in our country, finish my college, and so I went back in our country, finished my degree, and then right after I graduated, I immediately applied to an agency. so I can pursue my American dream. And during this internship process, it was a bit harder than the work and travel because I am on my own now. So no one really, will help you. This school doesn't give you any help already. It is already up to you. What agency are you gonna choose? What host company are you gonna work for? Or what visa sponsor, will give you. So this program really challenged me on what I am capable of, what I am willing to do, and how bad I want this program. So on this internship, I choose Florida because for certain reasons, and I'm going to be making a separate video for you guys to know which is the perfect state for you. So here's the story. Among all of my friends, I was the first one who was approved for a J1 visa. And so my employer said that, okay, Rio, there's no time to wait for your other friends. You need to fly to America as soon as possible. And I'm like, alone? I was really afraid. I was scared. Like, I am 21 years old at the time, as far as I remember. Yes, and I'm like, am I really traveling to America alone? Yeah, I've been there. But then it's still like 24 hours or 21 hours flight. And, this is gonna be like scary because I'm afraid to be alone. Really. Well, I don't really have a choice but to follow. So I went to America alone. I have an 8 hours layover at Hong Kong. Can you imagine? I was there alone. I was supposed to meet my friend, so I can spend some hours with her and just to catch up. But during my flight, she flew to Japan for vacation. I'm like, why is the universe doing this for me? I was like really scared. But then now, as I realize or thinking about it, it made me stronger and it made me fearless, traveling alone, discovering the world alone, because I learned that not all the time there will always be someone there for you. So I'm like, okay, that was a good experience, that was new and I like it. I enjoy it. I eat a lot of food. I tried different restaurants over there. So that was a cool experience. And then here, Florida. Oh my, Florida. It's been a year. It's really nice to reminisce. I really had a great experience. So I work in this prestigious hotel that I was lucky to get into. It was a Marriott hotel and specifically an autograph hotel collection. It is located at the Keys in Florida. So at first I was scared because I am in the food and beverage department where I am not really used into, because it was really my first time being on that department. But I chose that because I want to challenge myself to learn different new things. I don't want to be stuck on one thing and keep doing the same thing over and over again. And so my last internship, I already worked in the aquatics department, and I also tried housekeeping department for like a month. And then on my next job when I was in our country, I tried front office department. And so I thought about, why not try food and beverage? And so I went to the food and beverage department and I was cool. And so on the first week, it was too hard for me to accept that I am not good enough or I am not worthy of my test. So I really pushed myself and study a lot. Like, when I say a lot, like a lot, because I am not familiar with the food or the dishes, because I am not really good into cooking. I am not familiar with the ingredients because I didn't major in culinary or something that is connected with food. I majored tourism, so if you ask me about ticketing, if you ask me about reservation, yes, I can answer that. But if you ask me what's in a ceviche, I have no idea, to be honest. So I really feel bad for my guests, and I really also feel bad for myself when my guests ask me, oh, what's in here? Oh, I have a gluten allergy, or oh, I have a shellfish allergy. What can you recommend me? And I am just like, let me ask my supervisor. And I hate that. I hate that feeling. So what I did is improve myself every night after our shift. I remember our shift will start at 4 p.m. until 11, but then if we're busy, we will be at home by 1 a.m. So after that, I still study our menu. I search the words that I am not really familiar to, and then the liquors. Oh my god, the liquors, they give me such a hard time, but then I'm so thankful because I'm now kind of familiar with them, you know. I have no idea about liquors. I didn't know that there are different kinds of rum, different kinds of tequila, different kinds of vodka, red wine, white wine. I thought there's only red wine and there's just different brands, but I'm wrong. They have Merlot, they have Cabernet, they have Pinot Noir, and so on and so forth, and I'm like overwhelmed, like super overwhelmed about this information. And at first I was like, do I quit? Because I don't really have no idea what am I doing, but then I want to challenge myself, and then I remembered, why am I there? Why did I put myself into that situation? And so that keeps me motivated. When you know your whys, it will always makes you push harder. So I didn't stop. Every time I go home, I will study the menu, I will study our liquors, I will study the beers, the different kinds of beer, different brands, where are they from, and also I will study the system, like entering this one, what if the guest wants to add another shot, or a side of this, a side of that, or no veggies, or no cheese, or substitute the Swiss cheese to cheddar cheese, and so on and so forth. Food and beverage people can relate to me. And so I realized that after a month, I was like, oh my god, now I am confident to face my guests, recommend this, recommend that. Oh, if you're allergic to this, you can have this. Oh, if you're not a fan of oranges, maybe you want to try this. You know, it was really good experience and really nice feeling to gain more knowledge and just be standing there in front of the guests as if like you are a teacher that teaching them this, teaching them that. It was just fulfilling to me, really. And so after I learned the liquors, the beers, our menus, the ingredients, the system, now I study on how to be a better server. How do I communicate more to the guests, especially through communication, because I am Filipino. I have an accent. They are Americans. Sometimes they speak English that are too fast, or maybe too slang that I cannot understand. So I find ways on how to understand them better. I also research some words that I can use to be more appropriate, and so they can understand it better. All of my experience that I have right now didn't happen overnight. I spent days and nights asking my peers, my colleagues, my managers, my supervisors, and also my guests on how can I improve my service, because I always want to be the best on what I do. And after a month and a half or 2 months, if I'm not mistaken, and so one day I was standing in front of our restaurant, and then my manager was walking towards me and smiling like, I don't know, it was just kind of weird, and then he handed me an invitation, and so I opened it, and I really have no idea what the invitation is. And then as I open it, it says there that, Rio, you are invited to a lunch, like employees lunch, and I was like, what? Like, I have no idea what really is that, but I know that it was like a good invitation. And then so I asked my manager, and she said that, oh, congratulations, because one of your guests mentioned you in a TripAdvisor and said that you did a good job. And I was like, oh my god, like I am freaking happy out. My heart is like jumping inside, and I'm like, oh my god, thank you, Lord. It was like, it's not, I would say that a dream come true, or hard work's paid off, as they would say, because I really work hard for the knowledge that I have, or I really work hard for the service that I give for my guests, because it's not only that I really want to give it to them, but no, that's my water. But it's not only that I really want them to give a better experience, but I also really cared about them, because they're paying a lot of money in that hotel, and I would just want them to have the best experience in that hotel, get the best value out of their money, and just give an overall experience. And just going extra mile doesn't cost me anything, so I always want to be giving 100% to my guests. So months have passed. I transferred from one restaurant to another, because we are on a rotation, which is really cool. So my first restaurant, it was a sushi bar. Our restaurant is mostly focused on sushis, handcrafted cocktails, liquors, beers, and sometimes a little tapas. And for my second restaurant, I was assigned in the beach. It's why my friends are watching, how tan I get, because I was really working under the sun for 8 hours. First of all, there's like no real table. People just have like a mini table on beside of their chairs, and not all of the chairs have table beside them. And second, sometimes we're gonna be assigned in a section where is the beach, where all the sand. So imagine you are carrying a cocktails and you are walking on the sand. It was kind of tough, but then I took it as a challenge for me to work my hand on how my grip is, and how to balance something. So I don't really regret working on that, and it also helps me a lot just by being patient. For example, I am assigned in all the way back there, like on the other side of the beach, and the guests will be saying that, oh, can we please have 2 mojitos, and I will go back to the bar right after I get the drinks from the bar, and then I will go back to the other side, and then I will deliver to the guests, and then the guests sometimes will say that, oh, can we have another one? And at the back of my mind, I'm like, just one here. It's a long road. But then, of course, you cannot complain. But then still, all of that experience, I worked there for 3 months or 4 months if I am not mistaken. But I didn't regret any bit of that, because I really learned a lot. My manager is super cool, he's really helpful, and he really cares about how we felt, or if we need help, he's always there for us. So it was a really good experience. My third restaurant is Seoul. So that restaurant is my dream restaurant to work to, because first, it was covered, though it's not air conditioned. My first restaurant was air conditioned, by the way. And so that restaurant was an outdoor restaurant, but it was all covered, so I am not really exposed under the sun, and which is really cool. It makes it a lot easier. But then I remember the guest at Seoul was a different guest. I felt like the guests are more demanding. The guest needs more of your attention. The guest needs more of your knowledge, and it really challenged me of something that you thought you already know about it, but then as you grow or as you switch to another restaurant, you will discover something new. You will discover something that really no have idea what they are or what is that food. So it was really good experience, but also a challenging experience, especially communicating with the kitchen, communicating with the guests, and communicating with your colleagues, because it's not always rainbows and butterflies at work. I know for sure all of the people can relate to me. As a server, you would always want to, grant their requests as much as possible, but then when you type it in the system and then the chef will see that, of course, especially if they're busy, they don't really like it. Because especially when the request is, for example, a hamburger, medium well, substitute the bun into a gluten-free bun, add cheese or no bacon, or substitute bacon to fries, or substitute this to that. And most of the time the kitchen doesn't like it, because it's harder for them to remember the request, and especially if it's busy, they just doesn't have time for that stuff. And I don't want to talk bad about the kitchen of why they do it, because I also understand it. But on the other side, you cannot also blame the guests if they want this, they want that, because they are paying a lot of money. So at the back of my mind, why would I not grant their request if it's possible? Why would I not give what they're asking for if it's possible? So I'm always stuck between their guest request and what the kitchen wants. There are also times that the guests shouted at me, the guests get mad at me, and so on and so forth. But that is the time that I don't really regret, because I learned from them, I learned from that experience, and I learned from that situation. Because with that, I won't be a better person, or I won't be stronger on how to handle things. So I am also thankful that I experienced that, because it makes me who I am today. And for me, my goal is not to give up for my guests. My goal is to make them happy, leave the hotel smiling, and just give my 100% to them. So with these experiences that I have shared with you guys, you can now sense of how strong you need to be on this particular job, because this is not something that is easy, or this is not something like a play where you can quit whenever you want to, or when things get rough you will just like, bye, I'm out. This is not something like that. This is something that needs to be taken seriously, and this is something that will really help you to grow as a person, to grow as an employee, and to grow just like your whole being. Because with this experience, I met a lot of people who are good, who are very good, who are selfish, who are just not happy with their life. But with this experience, it gives me the opportunity to meet our owners, to meet successful people, to meet big time people or influential people, and I have this opportunity to talk to them, ask them how did they start, what did they do before, how did they come up with this idea, or how did they discover their passion. As I talk to them, I discovered a lot of habits that they do that are similar. As I talk to them, I discovered how they talk to people, how they treat people, and just their personality. I really learned a lot from them. That's why I really love talking to each one of my guests, because I always discovered something. It might not be like really helpful to me as a, like, you know, to improve my better self, but it helps me to visualize, for example, what is Texas is, how does New York looks like, and what San Francisco can offer, and all that stuff. So it really makes me visualize my future, that oh, I really want to go there, oh, I really want to see that, and I am so excited to do that. That's why it keeps me motivated to work hard and to fulfill the dream. This is what I always tell to my friends and to my family, or even with my siblings, that each and every people that you meet in your life, it may be good or bad, they will always have a role in your life. And so with this, I am really happy to share with you guys. During my work and travel experience, I got the Employee of the Month during May 2016. And then when I was doing this internship here in Florida, I got an Employee of the Month also. And it was just a big honor and opportunity that I will always and forever remember and treasure, because it was something that I know that I really work hard for, and it was something that fulfills me. It was something that motivates me and keeps me pushing towards my goals, helping people, serving them, and giving them the best experience that they could ever have. So I am sharing this to you not to brag about my awards, but I want to share this to you guys to keep you motivated, that if I can do this, you can do that too. It is not easy, there is no shortcut, but I promise you it's gonna be worth it. It's not only that you are helping yourself to be better version, it's not only that you are helping yourself to have more or be knowledgeable, but it also gives you helping other people to have a better experience. It helps you to make an impact to the world and making it a better world or a better place to live. And yeah, so let's go to the fun part. So during this internship, I get to travel from one state to another, which is really cool. I visit LA twice. I went to New York, I went to Pennsylvania, I went to Maryland, I went to New Jersey, and what else? I think that's all. But then I explored Florida. I went to Jacksonville, I went to Fort Lauderdale, I went to Key West, which is my favorite. I also explored Miami and the Florida Keys. And it just made me more realize on what really life is, why am I here, what is my purpose, what is my passion. And I discovered every day more and more about myself, and that is really something that I am thankful for. And with this opportunity, I also have the chance to help my parents, you know, financially. I also have helped my sisters or my siblings to send them to school or give them an advice on how to deal with this, how to deal with that, because on this journey I experienced a lot, and I would say it's not easy. It's worth enjoying for. It is something that I would always go back and I would always cherish those moments. And that's all for today, guys. If you're watching still, thank you so much, and don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and click the bell button below so you will always be notified whenever I uploaded new videos. And please stay tuned on my next video because I'll be doing episode 4, 5, and 6, and as much as I can give you all the information that I know, I would always want to share it with you guys. So if you have any questions, just comment below and I will be happy to assist you guys. See you on my next video. Bye for now!